lounging, son.
All right, welcome back to the Comic Lounge. My name's Ryan,
And I'm Manny.
and today we're going to be looking at, a little unknown character, debuting in his first monthly series, Wolverine #1.
Right, the
I'm
ongoing.
yeah, the ongoing. I'm
Yeah.
joking, but a very well-known character. But this is the first time he had his ongoing series. Obviously, we had the Claremont Frank Miller miniseries that preceded this, but this is Chris Claremont and John. Is it Buscema? Buscema? Everybody says it
Buscema is
different.
how I pronounce it.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Somebody tried to correct me. I'm gonna edit that out. Somebody tried to correct me on one of our videos. The way I said Mignola or empty some
I,
but
yeah,
whatever.
I
Anyways,
just, yeah.
yeah, fuck them. But before I get into this, I just want to remind everybody, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button, check out some of the dope content. There's a bunch of playlists that you can follow through. There's interviews, overviews like this, hardcovers, a bunch of great episodes on the channel. So hit that subscribe button. And now let's check out this classic Wolverine issue. I was one when this came out. Originally, this is the facsimile edition. This is one of the many facsimile editions that Marvel's been producing, along with DC. I've mentioned it many times on the episodes I've done, how much I love the fact that they're reproducing these comics so you can get them in single issue form with the ads, because the ads, to me, no pun intended, but they add a lot.
I was 10 when this came out. So, like, I mean, I was the perfect fucking age to be getting this book.
Yeah. Can't forget Al
And
Williamson on inks and Tom Orzechowski on letters either, dude.
yeah, I wanted to mention that. And then I think it's Glynis Olivier or
Yeah.
Oliver. I've
Oliver.
seen that name
Yeah. Same
a
here.
bunch of times too, especially around this period.
Got
So,
Bob
like,
Harris as the editor, so he was editing the X books at this time, anything X
yeah.
related, and he was there for a lot of fucking shit that we liked, dude. A lot of dope comics. I mean, the Jim Lee
Yeah, man, I'm
X-Men,
realizing that, as I pay more and
Liefeld.
more attention to editors, like I
Yeah,
realize that how important they are to the process.
yep.
So I'm starting to really sort of look into like who edited the book, and I'm like, oh, that makes sense why I was so into it or why I still love it so much.
And we open up. We are in Talambang,
Kalambang, yeah.
Talambang, in Asia, and this is, this starts off this like new, like, first of all, I love whenever Wolverine's like off in Asia. I love
Yeah,
those adventures that he does. I love when he like takes on these alter egos, like we're basically going to be going to Madripoor, which is the
yeah,
whole impetus of getting him here. And we see these guys, they got all these fucking women tied up, trapped over here.
yeah. Yeah, they're like modern day, or at least at that time, they were modern day pirates, like
Yeah, slave
hijacking
traders.
planes,
Yeah,
yeah, for holding people ransom,
yeah.
selling the women off to like the sex trade, stealing the whatever was on the plane, like just a bunch of bad hombres, bro.
Yep. And it's funny, like the airplane disappeared, 21 crew, 180 passengers, most of them beyond my help. First thing I found after coming ashore was their mass grave. And so we know who's narrating this, dude.
Right,
And
yeah.
I love this. The way Buscema has this guy with the fucking match lighting the
Yes,
cigarette.
dude. And then Wolverine there, like in the
Yep.
in the
The
trees
eyes.
hiding, like yeah. I like how like hard boiled this is, like this is the Wolverine that I fell in love with as a kid, I wasn't even born when the character was introduced, but right when this title came out, like Wolverine was beginning to become like one of the most popular characters. Seeing this kind of shit when I was a kid just cemented how badass he is. We've talked about it, like we grew up in the era of the badass action hero, and this is along those lines, man.
Yep.
Like some
Also
dude
the
in Asia going
mystery.
to rescue people.
Yeah,
Yes,
the
yes,
mystery surrounding Wolverine is what I think added to the allure of the character. And like,
yes,
I really feel as good as the miniseries was, Origin, and like actually getting like the definitive, okay, this is how he first like popped his claws, and this is kind of like how he got to where he was. Almost wish that didn't exist, because constantly with the conflicting memories and the conflicting, like, did I do this in my past? Is this real? Is this not? I kind of miss that aspect of Wolverine. As much, I may still love Wolverine, don't get me wrong, but
yeah.
I do think that it added something to the character. And I don't think you ever needed to fully give his origin. I don't think it was completely
No,
necessary. I like how we don't even see him yet. He's just grabbing this dude, chokes him out through the fucking bushes. pulls him, and then throws him. And
Yeah, the
then
snapping of the neck is awesome, and like
yeah,
I was surprised reading this again. Like I don't remember if I had number one. I know I've had this comic before having this facsimile. I don't remember if I got this off the stands or not. I think I might have because like my cousin got me into Wolverine and we were all super hyped. I mean, just seeing Marvel like this is pretty like violent for a comic back then. You know? Wolverine is killing. I mean, he kills hundreds of people in this issue.
yeah, and it is missing. It is does have the Comics Code Authority stamp on it, so it is interesting that they. I mean, I feel like it was starting to get a little bit looser in terms of what
Yeah,
you could do with the Comics Code stamp on the front. You know, I love this. You talk about like the inner dialogue or the narration, I mean, that Wolverine's saying. It does really have like that noir vibe to it, you know, like
yeah.
just the way he's talking. I love this too. Again, they just kind of the fact that we haven't seen Wolverine and we're a few pages in, and we just kind of he's almost like this boogeyman that's
Yeah.
sneaking through, and then we see this dude as he's about to fucking slash this woman. All of a sudden, you hear this, you the snick, and then snack, and then you just see the dude on the ground, three puncture wounds and the blood, and then Wolverine all in red. I wish I kind of had the original for this because I would love to see what the original coloring looked like on newsprint. They kind of ruin it that way, but you know, and he's just trying to console this girl, telling her to like, you know, just stay quiet. I'll be back as quick as I can. And she's thanking him, whoever you are. And that this again, we talked about page turns. This should have been on the other side.
Yeah, agreed.
This should have been here. But I mean, I guess how do you fucking get rid of this 3-page fucking music fucking it's crazy, dude. I mean, I definitely signed up for this one, but this is nuts. This is overkill, dude.
Yeah.
Do we need 3 pages of it? No, we don't.
No,
But
yeah, man. It's pretty fucking funny, dude. Like
but I love this design for Wolverine. I
totally on
he's
board. Yeah.
not in patch mode yet, which I also love when he's patch, but I love this like with this like weird mask that he's wearing that almost looks like it's not fishnet stockings, but it looks like it's that same kind of like mesh type material. And at this point too, the X-Men are presumed dead. I don't remember exactly what was going on in the X-Men comics at the time, but you know, that's why he's not wearing his costume. That's why he's, you know, in stealth mode.
I love the line work that Buscema is doing in this, man. Like
Yeah.
it's a little bit looser than some of the stuff he's done. I mean, it's reminiscent of the work he did on Conan, obviously,
Hmm.
and being a big fan of that book too. Like it makes sense that they would choose him to draw Wolverine because I mean, Conan is another sort of like savage character like this, that is prone to having a lot of violence,
Hmm.
and it was a great choice to have him be the artist on the ongoing. You know?
This single page is amazing too. Just from the way he talks, like talk is cheap, bub. You want my hide, take it if you can. And then
Oh,
this,
I love this. What
my
a
name's
great image of
Logan,
Wolverine.
but most people know me as Wolverine. I'm the best there is at what I do. That's all you need to know about Wolverine. I love that.
Dude, yeah, this is like this page right here is, I mean, probably one of the best Wolverine pages, probably one of the most iconic. Like just like the feralness in him, like you
Dude, the
said, like it.
full mutton chops too, dude, with the hair, like it just full
Yeah,
blown, man. Like they don't draw Wolverine like that anymore. His hair's not like that. He's more like it like stops. It stops at the ear now. It
yeah,
doesn't really
and he
go
still
down.
looks kind of like small, but like burly, like because I
Hmm.
mean they mentioned it here. I think it's in the other comic that we're recording today. His first introduction, where he's 5'5", he's small.
Yeah.
He's like I'm a small guy. Wolverine's supposed to be my height,
Yeah.
except like big and stocky and thick, and they don't
That
draw him like that anymore either, really.
Nope, they don't like really lean into that. And I kind of like that, dude. I liked that he was
Yeah,
like this small little unassuming, like you see him, and then he's like the best. And he's just getting fucking he's completely outnumbered, but he doesn't give a shit because he's the best there is, dude. And he's just going after all of them. He gets fucking riddled with bullets. I love this panel right here at the bottom right.
yeah, I do too, man. That's great, and the top panel is great too. There's so many moments in this book that have the example set forth by that top panel where it's like Wolverine just kind of like just slamming into like a pile
Mhm.
of bodies, and you can sort of feel the impact of him just kind of cutting through like a group of like fucking 30 guys like nothing, man. Like I just imagine like I wish the movies had moments like this where you see him like almost like in a football field, like just like tackling
Yeah.
through a bunch of dudes and them fucking falling apart like bowling pins, man.
I
Like,
think the best Wolverine's Berserker was in X-Men 2 when they attacked the
yeah,
X-Mansion. I think that was like
yes,
my favorite still. I mean, I haven't really watched the Wolverine trilogy again, which I kind of want to watch it again. It's been a while, but I still
yeah,
like X-Men 2 to me was like one of the best. But I love this. I
agreed.
like how he's like the bullets burn like fire. Would have killed anyone else. They just make me mad. It's awesome, dude. And it's like again, it's like there's no backstory. So even when he's like describing himself, he's like, yeah, I'm a mutant, born with parahuman super efficient healing factor that can deal with any illness or poison or wound, makes me way stronger than normal, faster, tougher. It's like there's so much that we don't know at this point about him, but you don't need to know that stuff. And that was always
You,
cool too, because you could always discover new shit about him. And I feel
yep.
like when they do it now, it doesn't have that same like, oh crap, that happened to him. But that's besides the point. I mean, again, look at this. Look how many people are just fucking like on top of
Dude,
him.
he's like carrying them with one arm, basically. Like I just imagine these people trying to tackle him, and like he's not even hardly breaking a sweat, dude.
Yeah,
He's just
it's funny because it almost looks like they're on a skewer and he's just like they're just
yeah,
like
yeah. Oh,
piling on
totally.
top.
Yeah. That I was trying to find a word for it. That's good. It's like fucking like he's about to barbecue a shish kebab. Like
Oh, dude, and then he throws him through. And then this woman, she's like best chance to escape.
so
And
much
it,
action,
and
dude.
we learn that she's the personal secretary of his love, Mariko Yoshida,
Yeah,
head of one of Japan's most powerful noble houses. And I think that of all of I love these old ads. Of all of
yeah,
Claremont's like older comic books, some of them are a little bit harder for me to read.
yeah.
Like they
He's
just
very
like
verbose.
yeah, but the Wolverine stuff is to me like I think it's as far back as I can go. Maybe I could read a little bit before this, but it doesn't pack that same punch for me. His Wolverine, like I forget how long he stays on it. I do have like the Epic collection where they collect the first year of
Yeah,
Wolverine, and I love that stuff, dude.
because it's Larry Hama, the writer that follows him on this.
I don't know if Larry Hama directly follows him. I feel like you might be right, but I don't remember what issue
Yeah,
Hama takes over. But yeah, this is great, dude.
dude. Yeah.
Fucking the
I mean,
sword hitting him in the neck and it just shattering, and the look on this dude's face, like,
and just like I mean, there's so much action in this. Like,
yeah,
what a perfect example of a first issue. You're introduced to the character if you don't know him, but if you do know him, like you're not gonna be bored. Like you said, the narration gives you enough. We still got the mystery. I mean, this is gonna be one of the best number one issues ever.
yeah. I love the visceralness of his face right here. He just looks like a straight animal, dude. And
Yeah, dude. Yeah, he's feral, man.
yeah,
And again, they don't draw Wolverine like this anymore and make him like this anymore. Like
no,
they've kind of like softened him up a bit. I mean,
yeah.
that's a lot to do with probably the character being so popular and like like marketing outside the books. But this was like when Wolverine was starting to pop.
And then we see this girl. I forget her name. He mentions it at some point, doesn't he? No, he doesn't mention it. But she's like
No,
got ties to the X-Men because she's like the roommate of Jessica Drew, which is, aka Spider-Woman. And the X-Men were staying with her at one point in San Francisco. So like he
yeah,
still has to like be able to conceal who he is. But how the fuck would you not recognize him with that hair? It's like to be able to suspend my disbelief and like be like, okay, yeah, I wouldn't know. All he needs to do is throw an eye patch on. Give me a break, dude. That's the only thing where I'm like, anybody would notice Wolverine, man. Anybody would notice that fucking hairstyle. You have the ties to the X-Men, but they're really truly letting him be on his own. And I think like the fact that they moved him completely out of the US and into Asia to have his own adventures, I think was a brilliant move on their part.
yeah, man. And like again, it goes back to like those '90s action movies had that a lot. Like I feel like every other Jean Claude Van Damme movie was about him going to an Asian country to fucking fight or to rescue someone or to do something. And like those tropes to me are classic
Yeah.
of the time.
And then now they actually are landing in Madripoor. And I love how he just like bumps her so he can get her scent. So
Yeah,
he can be able to track her. And then he's like, okay, no reaction, not even a flicker. So far, so good. And then these guys that are following her, he just I love this, just walks by and like six right into the fucking tire. This is awesome,
I
dude.
miss these bullpen bulletins, man, so much with
Oh, yeah.
like the caricature of a creator, and then you have the hype box at the bottom.
Yeah.
Like
This
that's
is
what I love
this
about
is an editor right here. Yeah. It's pretty
yeah.
cool. Yeah.
So what I love about these facsimiles, because I mean, before we had the internet, before we even had Wizard magazine or anything, like this is like what us comics junkies like lived on, was like getting all this information in house. And I mean, Marvel's kind of starting to do it a little bit now too, like with some other issues, but it
Yeah,
doesn't.
it's not the same.
It's not the same, bro. It's
Yeah.
not the same.
I love this Wolverine in plain clothes. Just I love this shit, dude. Kicking in the door, the wood splintering.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, dude.
yeah,
And then they use the doorway to really emphasize how short he is too.
yeah. Good call on that, man. That's an excellent panel, and that's Buscema like being like the fucking artist he is. And
Yeah,
his choreography in this is really amazing too.
I agree.
I love that him with the hat. Like he's very much in like private detective mode here,
Dude,
like
yes.
Sam Spade, Philip Marlowe kind of shit.
I love it, dude.
And still smoking a cigar, dude. You know what I mean? Like that's another thing that they don't have him do anymore. Like
I can understand,
yeah, I can do. Smoking is
but
bad for you as
but
an as a
it's like Nick Fury without a cigar. It's weird to me.
yeah.
But anyways, this is a fucking great issue. Again, I want to thank
And
Marvel
that back
for
cover, like we
oh
started
yeah,
off
yeah.
the galleries. Is
John
that
Byrne, yeah.
John Byrne? Yeah, that was one of the great things about the Wolverine series, is that the back cover was always like a pinup by
You're right. I
Swassy.
totally forgot about that, dude.
Yeah,
That's right. I'm so happy Marvel's doing this. I love that, because they do this, we're able to see these old ads and we're able to see
yeah.
exactly like all the editorials, like you said. But great issue. I love Wolverine. I think he's one of the best Marvel characters, hands down.
Oh, absolutely. And this cover is iconic, man. Him standing on that pile of bodies, like obviously, I think there's an EC homage vibe to it too. I think they're going for like that kind of a vibe, with the
Yeah.
moon, so almost like a horror comic,
Mhm.
especially with the coloring.
Yeah, it's
Great comic, dude,
fantastic.
but one of my favorite comics ever.
Agreed. It's one of the best number
Yeah,
ones too, for sure. So
yeah.
if you can, hit up your shop, go pick up a copy. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you're notified every time a new video drops. And on that note, we're out.
We'll catch you next time, guys.